Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Good morning, all of you. So, students, last day we have started this chapter, that is cell structure and its function. Okay, so just a brief discussion about the previous class. What do you mean by cell? I have compared the cell with the bricks of your school building. If you think the classroom of your school building, the classroom only, I am telling any section. It can be, as I am class teacher of 8C, I am taking 8C. Okay. So it can be 8C section. Okay, so if 8C is compared with a organ, so you can say, you can see in the 8C there are walls. Okay, so in that case the walls are forming the tissue and the walls are forming by the bricks. Okay, so bricks, we can compare the bricks as cells, and when the cells are together they are forming tissues, means that when the bricks are together they are forming the wall, and after that the wall are together to form an organ. So the walls here, the bricks are forming the walls, that means cells are forming the tissue, and the walls are together, tissues are together to form one organ, and organs are together. That means 8A, 8B, 8C are forming organ system, or 8 class 8 system. Okay, what is the syllabus? In the midterm it will be in your syllabus, but not in the coming test. Okay, but in the midterm it will be included in your syllabus, as we have finished the coming test chapter. So I have started this. Okay, in the coming test, microorganism, friend and foe will be in your syllabus, and in the midterm you will get 3 biology chapter, that is the cell structure and function, microorganism, friends and foe, and also crops production and management. Okay, teachers will provide you the syllabus, don't worry students. So the classrooms are forming the system, that is 8 class 8 is compared with a system, and the classrooms are the organ. So organs are forming 8A, 8B and 8C together forming organ system. Okay, and suppose one organ system is 8, another organ system is class 7, another organ system is class 6, like that total school building will be one organism. Organ systems like respiratory systems, muscular system, all the organ systems are circulatory system are providing one living organism. So class 8, class 6, class 4, all the classes are providing the school structure. Okay, so the total school structure can be compared with our body, and the basic need or basic thing will be the cell. So cell will be the structural and functional unit. Cell will be the structural and functional unit of the organism. Okay, so which is cell is the structural and functional unit. In this chapter you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cell. Okay students, now discovery of cell, I have told you. Robert Hooke 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple microscope, that was a dead cell. And now I am going the cell basic structural unit. Okay, You can see one cell. Can you give me the answer of the question? What cell you can see by your naked eye or unaided eye? Give one example of cell that you can see with your unaided eye. Can you give anyone the answer? Okay, so cells can be vary in their size, cell number, shape and size can be vary with organism and organism. Brick cell, Sudipta. No. Brick is not a cell. I am comparing brick as cell. Now you can say which cell you can see, with your unaided eye. That is egg. Egg is cell. Totally one cell. Okay. That egg you have seen in the market, that egg you can see, this is one cell. Is that clear to you? You can say the cell unaided eye, one cell that you can see by unaided eye is egg. Egg can be seen by unaided eye. Okay. So egg of a hen represent a single cell. Okay, it's okay. You have confused, so you have given the answer, but very good, you have given the answer. Very good. Good approach. The egg of a hen represents a single cell. Here it is written, the egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eye. Okay, so I am going for multicellular cell and unicellular cell. I have told you the multicellular cells means organisms when are made up of more than one cell, that will be multicellular cell. And unicellular cell you have seen in class 7, feeding mechanism of amoeba, that will be one type of feeding mechanism of amoeba. Amoeba is one cell, unicellular structure. This organism is totally one cell structure. The structure of this organism is comprising with one cell. Okay, total one cell is one organism. In case of amoeba, in case of paramecium, some protozoans are there. Now I am coming here shape of different cells. Okay, you can see the shapes of the cells are different according to their function. Here the red color cells are the red blood cell. Here the red color cells are the red blood cell, and stretched cells are nerve cells. You have seen this cell is stretched cell, this is the nerve cell, and this is spindle like cell, this is the muscle cell. So according to their functions, cells are changing also their shape. Okay, now I am coming. Shape of the cells are different. Okay, so the size of the cells has no relation. I am here, ma'am, whether white blood cell. Okay, here no picture has given of white blood cell. Actually, white blood cells are not like the red blood cells. There are so many white blood cells. Okay, and they can change their shape according to their need. Okay, so white blood cells, some cells are neutrophils, some cells are monocytes, so they have different kinds of cells, and they are actually the fighter cell in our blood, so they don't have the definite shape like the red blood cell, so it has not given If you want, I can next day I will show you the picture of white blood cell. Okay, yes, it is in our body. The immune system, nowadays you can see, you have to improve your immune system. To for immunity boosting, you have to take this health drink and leafy vegetables, more proteins. So what is your immune system? Actually, immune system means you are increasing the number of your white blood cells and the number of vitamins and minerals, the amount of vitamins and minerals in your body that they can fight very well. Is that clear to you? You are increasing the number of white blood cells, red blood cells. Red blood cells actually useful for carrying oxygen, responsible for carrying oxygen, and white blood cells are the fighter cells. Okay, weapon, they have weapons to kill germs. Okay, so they don't have like definite shape like the red blood cells, so it has not given. Okay, next I'll show you. Okay, definitely I'll show you white picture of white blood cell. Okay, so the size of the cells has no relation with the size of the body of an animal or plant. It is not necessary that okay, size of cell, starting from the first. The size of cells in the living organism may be as a millionth of a meter or may be as large as a few centimeters. Okay, so ostrich cell is the largest cell. Wait. Cell structure and function. Okay, so size of the cell, what is about the size of the cell? Size of the cell is not depending on the figure or the length of the living organism. Okay, it can be vary according to their need or according to their function. Now I am coming here. Cell structure and function, very important part it is. Okay, so each organ in the system performs different functions. I have told you, in the organ system, each organ in the system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation and absorption. Digestion, assimilation and absorption. Similarly, different organs of the plant perform specific or specialized function. For example, roots help in the absorption of water and minerals. Okay, each organ is further made up of smaller parts called tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. So what do you mean by tissue? Tissue is a group of cells performing a specific function. You will get the exam schedule. What is the syllabus? I have told you microorganism friends and foe will be in the second phase of PT1, and this will be in the midterm syllabus. Before the exam I will revise again microorganism friends and foe. Now I am continuing this part. Okay, so what do you mean by tissue? You have seen in the figure some bricks are forming a structure when tissues are forming a definite structure or when tissues are performing a specific function together, when tissues are performing a similar group of cells, when cells are performing a definite functions together, when cells are performing similar group of cells, when group of similar cells, the cells are structurally similar, the cells are functionally similar, all the cells are similar in the tissue. So when group of cells they are which are similar in structure or similar in every aspect, okay, so when performing a specific function it will be tissue, okay. No, biology, from biology part it will come this chapter. I am not telling total science. It is so easy, huh? That you are giving exam with one chapter. What a question. Parts of the cell. Now I am coming parts of the cell. The basic components of the cell. What is tissue? It is clear. Now tell me, what is tissue? It is clear or not? In the school building, I am telling you that bricks are the cell, and similar bricks are forming one wall. Okay, similar bricks are forming one wall. Here, suppose the similar bricks are performing a specific function. Okay, so in the kitchen wall you can see tiles are similar. So all the tiles, if you say one tile is like one cell, and if you say one tile is like one cell, then you can say, what do you mean by tissue? All the tiles are together is forming tissue. So when one structure is called cell, when similar cells are performing a specific function, you can see that is tissue. Okay, specific function, similar group of cells performing specific function, that will be tissue. Tissues are together to make organ, and organs are together to make organ system. Parts of the cell. The basic components of the cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Okay, very good. The basic components of the cell are the cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. The cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane and also called plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another and also the cells from the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and allows helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. Now, okay. Cell structure and function, parts of cell membrane. Allows the movement of substance of material both inward and outward. Leave it. I am going to the figure that I can show you clearly. Okay, so this is the onion peel cell. Here you can see this is cytoplasm. I am coming. What do you mean by cytoplasm? I am coming. You can see this is the nucleus. And the floor of the cell. Is called cytoplasm. Okay. Suppose in the classroom I am comparing that teacher the floor is cytoplasm. Okay, In the cytoplasm, the things are in the cell like nucleus. Nucleus is the teacher table. Teacher table is the nucleus. Nucleus is the brain of the cell. Nucleus is the brain of the cell. Is that clear? So teacher table is the nucleus, and other cell organelles are there. Other cell organelles are there. I am coming, that is mitochondria, ribosome, all these things are there, vacuoles. So these are the students table, students bench and tables, all these things are the cell organelles. Now you look that all these things are on the floor, okay, on the floor. This floor can be compared with cytoplasm. Here the floor is made up of plaster and concrete and bricks and all these things, and cytoplasm here is forming a jelly like structure. Here you can see the cytoplasm is jelly like structure. On this jelly like structure you can have this nucleus and other cell organelles, okay, and the boundary wall is called cell membrane, and the boundary wall is called cell membrane. Here you can see boundary wall. Just compare it with the wall of your classroom. One wall of your classroom means help to separate from the other classes and give the structure of the class. Same thing is here also. When I am coming for the cell membrane is just giving the cell support and shape of the a definite shape to the cell, okay, and also it helps to communicate with other cells, and also it will separate one cell from the another, like that. Just between the 8A and 8B, suppose there is a wall, that wall will differentiate between 8A and 8B, that is can be compared with cell membrane. Now the difference is there. Cell membrane here it is not showing because this is very microscopic structure. High resolution microscope can give you cell membrane is porous. Here you can see some pores. Which pores allow for the movement of the nutrients or all other secretions in the cells, okay. So cell membranes are porous. Cell membranes are porous. You are not drawing a porous cell membrane because this is just a normal microscopic view, but when you are going for the high resolution microscope to see the detailed structure of the cell, you can see that cell membranes are porous, that they can allow the movement of particles between the cell, because they have to communicate with one another. As you can communicate with your friend, then like that cell also have to communicate with other cell to continue their function. Am I clear? This allows movement of substance. This allows movement of substance or material both inward and outward. Is that clear? So when you are going for one cell, you just have a practical knowledge of everything, that you can compare anything with the cell, okay. As you have to communicate with other students to continue your study, like that cell have to communicate with other cells to continue their function. So it should allows movement of substance or material both inward and outward. Here we can have one another thing, that is cell wall. Where the cell wall present, cell wall is another membrane, another cell wall. Actually you can see in the onion peel, that is cell wall. Cell wall is the another membrane over the cell membrane. Cell wall is the another membrane. Very good, thank you. Cell wall is the another membrane over the cell membrane. Okay, as plant cell don't have any movement system like human beings or animals, so nature has given them another protecting weapon that is made up of mainly dead cells. The weapon is cell wall. Cell wall is covering of the cell membrane. Cell membrane, suppose in class 8a you have one secondary wall also to separate one class to another class. That secondary wall you can see from the outside, that is the cell wall. After that you have the class wall, that is normal class wall you can see. Okay, so when it is bounded with another wall like structure or with the dead cell, that will be cell wall. Okay, so students, we have just started the parts of the cell, and I have today told you the cell wall and the cell membrane. Okay, so now cell membrane and cell wall, it is clear, and if you have any doubt from this part you can ask me, students. And cell size also it is clear, tissue is clear. I think when cells are performing similar cells are performing a specific function, it is called tissue. Okay, thank you students, thank you for the class.